Hi listeners, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Venus transit through Leo till 21st of July, as it is now joining the Saturn-Uranus square, same as Mars did in the earlier days of July. Venus is a satellite of Sun and it rules the choices we make in love, in finances and in creativity, as well as fashion or taste. So those are the things which will get colored by Venus transit in Leo. Venus is in the Sun ruled sign of Leo, and it's like a ray of sunshine in the heart center, the archetype of boldness, ego, confidence, creativity. They are in our heart chakra, and we make our choices from a place of higher respect for self and higher honor for who we are. We radiate the Venus in Leo energy, falling in love with ourselves, and from that place attracting what makes us feel good, what makes us feel the king or queen of our domain. Think Madonna, there is no hiding with Venus in Leo. Enjoy it while it lasts till 21st of July. Sorry Virgos, but Venus in Virgo is a little bit more somber as compared to Venus in Leo, which is a bit more fun, even though the first day of Venus ingress into Virgo, which is 22nd of July, is bound to be over the top, because as soon as Venus enters Virgo on 22nd of July, it is going to oppose Jupiter. So there's bound to be over the top action in finances, love and creativity on 22nd of July, but we'll talk about that later. Today we talk about Venus in Leo till 21st of July and what are the aspects which are happening till then and how it will affect our finances, what is the best way to be in relationships and finances and creativity while Venus is here. My name is Charu and I'm your host on this journey. So let's begin. Venus in Leo is completely unabashed in its pleasures, for she knows the only goal of life is pleasure and love. She makes us feel special in being ourselves. She holds our hand firmly and she opens a stage, drops the spotlight and says, "Trust yourself. This is your life. This is your stage. Play full on." This is where moles become beauty spots. Ugly duckling realizes that she's different because she's actually a swan, and being admired or quoted needs to be a daily affair. If you're waiting for someone to make you feel happy, if you're waiting for someone to make you feel that you have it in you, if you're waiting for someone to see the light in you, that time has arrived. He or she is here, and it is you. Venus in Leo knows its very existence is a gift. Blow a kiss at that apparition in the mirror and say to yourself, "I see you, I feel you, and I will give you what you deserve." That's Venus in Leo. And right now it's trining with Chiron. It's a balm to our wounds of identity. Chiron in Aries is a wound of self-identity, when our unique identity in some ways is not honored and we feel almost hurtful in expressing our unique identity. Chiron in Aries is also about feeling that we have some amount of hesitance in acting on our own accord. Action is compromised when Chiron is in Aries, and it's very dominating force in the month of July because it is standing still, about to go retrograde. So when Venus is trining Chiron right now, it's essentially a balm to a wound of identity. She makes us feel that we could act on our own accord. We could stand up for our uniqueness, and that wound seems to both heal as well as feed Venus in Leo passion. The creativity is of course the first thing that is focus of Venus in Leo. Even in times of craziness and volatility, Venus assumes grace here. But the grace is of pride in oneself. Grace is of warmth and big heart. She's candid, unabashed, chases after whatever she desires, and her dance card is always full because she makes sure one quest is followed by another. quote or be quoted. She doesn't wait to be given the stage. She is the stage. She's never just a creator or an actress or a singer or a presenter. She is a brand. She's a brand in itself. And Venus in Leo, every transit, when it happens through a sign, even if you natally do not have that, we are gifted with the qualities to live that specific zodiac, that specific planets transit through that zodiac. So we all have been gifted with the qualities of Venus in Leo right now, which essentially helps us go beyond our previous thought process. And it gives us the confidence to create, and not just create an artistic work, a unique expression. This is an expression of life. As I said, she is never just a creator or an actress or a presenter or a singer. She is a brand. So during Venus and Leo transit, we create our brand. The second thing that Venus in Leo imparts us is the need for attention. It just is there. Although she attracts by default warm love of others effortlessly, but she surely needs to shine. But of course, there is drama. There's loads of drama with Venus in Leo. It's you don't even have to ask. It's just as there. Leo is all about the stage. So there is a bit of drama. Relationship drama will come, and it will come in this season with a lot of friction. And some of you have already experienced that. I've been posting about it. When Venus joins Saturn Uranus volatile square as a T square, volatility driven by issues of respect, driven by self-worth, driven by need for freedom, or the good old I am bored, or you don't value me, or you don't see me anymore, because Venus in Leo demands to be seen. It needs to be seen. It needs to be respected. It needs to be given freedom. There is a need to keep things interesting. So Venus achieves that either through friction or through soft coercion. But right now with the T square with Saturn and Uranus, you will experience that through friction definitely in relationships, especially for fixed signs, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius and Taurus, especially around 12 to 14 degree of these signs, the relationship and financial volatility is very real, and especially Venus and Leo is a significator of finances. So definitely both relationship and financial volatility comes with this aspect. But in personal life, just focusing on that for the time being, feed your kittens, feed your men and women, feed your respective kittens loads of compliments. You want them to. I mean, just look them up and down and say something nice. It's got to be better than, oh, you took a bath today or some crap like that. It's got to be in Venus in Leo wants to be quoted, and they want to be quoted in style. They want to be quoted in presence, with heart. It has to show up like you care. Individuality is desired by the heart. It's the highest expression of unique self. She needs to essentially express her individuality, and I'm saying she from Venus just purely as a planet. It's a female archetype, but it holds for men equally, that the heart chakra of whether you're a man or a woman, when Venus is transiting through Leo, we are essentially asked to, we are coerced to, we are moved to show the highest expression of our unique self. And it's not because she needs to help others or be a sacrifice for others. She wants to shine because she is the light. Sun does not shine because he's doing charity for everybody around him. He's shining because he's sun. So the need to shine is to be themselves, the need to do what you're doing, the need to fully express your unique identity is because you exist, because she is the light and she needs to shine. It's an inner necessity. And of course, luxury for love and expression of one's personal taste comes with it. But the driver is not show off, just as the driver is not self sacrifice or helping others. The driver is also not show off or impressing others. It's all driven by wanting to have a life larger than life. Idealism and larger than life qualities don't just play out in love when this happens, they play out in full on in everything. They play out in style, they play out in taste, and they need to be allowed. They need to be allowed. We need to stop suppressing that and compromising that and being, we call it humble, but it's not really humble because you're essentially repressing your shine when you do that. So Venus in Leo cannot stand that, and you would not feel happy because Venus is our happiness. The sole aim of Venus is our happiness, and you'll not feel happy suppressing your individuality, suppressing your shine, not asking for what you need, not getting the kind of attention you deserve or want, not having the kind of respect, self-worth and freedom and interesting conversations and a little bit over the top romance to some extent, a little bit of drama in it. All of this is demanded by Venus in Leo. And wherever any of these needs are not being met, you will experience friction. And that friction will be more pronounced for fixed signs because sometimes the fixed signs get fixed in their ways and all of these things are lost on the way to it. That brings me to what is the next thing that Venus in Leo definitely demands, and it's the erotica. Yes, Venus is sensual pleasure, and the need for physical pleasure is amped up when Venus is in Leo. You either shop or get to work in the bedroom or maybe do both. You want to just create a sensual environment which essentially feeds your senses. It feeds you fully. I've said it before. Mars Venus conjunction, which is about to happen on 13th of July, it needs a physical expression. So either you're going to eat up everything in your closet, not eat up everything in your closet. You're going to either buy everything that is there in the shop, or you essentially need what you truly need. So it's all about keeping the spark alive, and this transit helps. The issue normally is love and sex become very synonymous in these times. Venus in Leo has nothing in common with Neptune and Pisces. So selfless, soulless, is not soulful love. Selfless, soulful love is not what she's looking for. She's after the real deal. She's after the real deal in flesh. No imagination fulfills her. Neither does being a selfless lover. She is Pamela Anderson, physical expression of erotica. 13th July, Venus and Mars are meeting after a long while in Leo. This is the biggest indication of attraction, passion, desire. This is sensual, creatively as well. That is a very satisfying aspect, but the creation needs to be physical. Makes us feel more vivacious, attractive. Our need for affection and attention is amped up. Self-expression through both love and creativity, it benefits from this aspect. It doesn't ensure longevity, even though I think Venus and Leo is definitely one of the most loyal signs, but it does require passion to sustain that loyalty, I would say. We do expect more stability, but it's Mars and Venus together is normally very strong physical attraction, very strong. And it's same in creative matters and in finances. It's like it suddenly hits you. It's like love on first sight, essentially, which is usually more physical than anything else. So it indicates passion, though loyalty could exist, but loyalty will very much depend on things being kept interesting. Relationships which are initiated in Leo Venus need to be kept interesting, and they have an element of drama or flair in them, and that is definitely true if they are being initiated right now. The same holds for creativity, the same holds for finances. It has to be something interesting you're doing. It has to give you a sense of pride. It has to give you a sense that it is fulfilling you and giving you fun, joy, worth, sense of worth essentially in doing it. That brings me to the next thing that Venus in Leo wants, and that's the grooming. I mean, it's just that time of the year, and it's the best time of the year to do that. Beautiful haircuts, bold eyebrows, the heels, the colors, all that dressing up. Even if it's just to go to get another snack from the refrigerator, if you're still, in the house like myself, it's the time to groom up. It matters to you. It makes you feel a hella better in these times. It just does. Do it for you. Whatever makes you look outside just as all that you feel inside. Try, if possible, that you do it after the 8th of July, which is probably tomorrow for most of you, because Uranus and Venus are meeting, so things may not come out. Or if you're looking for a dramatic makeover, yes, definitely go for it. But if you could wait for a day or two, that would be better. That brings me to the next thing. Venus is more than love and creativity. It rules finance, especially Venus and Leo. It rules financial industry. It rules stock market. It rules our personal finances. And we are looking at volatile times with Venus in Leo, because Venus in Leo hates to be caged. The worst Venus to discipline, but that's what looks like with the current aspects happening, and it could be something that you might be experiencing in your personal life as well. Venus in Leo wants to splurge on quality things, and suddenly you might personally feel constrained in some ways, like you really want to buy something but you feel caged or disciplined in some ways. So even in global events, you can see that Venus in Leo meeting Saturn square Uranus looks like a period of financial regulations. With Uranus at the apex of this T square, we are looking at revolt, resistance, volatility against that. China's Mars and Pluto is in Leo, so we saw that financial regulatory clampdown was done on their companies recently, like Didi, with Venus Saturn opposition yesterday. More will come to focus on 8th of August new moon for China, because Venus in Leo, where it is right now with Uranus on 8th of July, we're going to have the new moon exactly on that point. So the events that are happening right now, even for you, the choices that you're making right now, or the constraints that you're feeling right now, you would have to look for a solution around that. And that's what this T square is about. It is trying to highlight a problem. Maybe you feel that your current heart's desire, they don't match the current financial constraint you have, and you're looking to break out of that. You want to create the right worth, or you feel that you're not valued in the way you should be valued. And Venus and Leo wants you to be valued, wants you to feel within yourself. First it starts with ourselves, right? So it wants us to first value ourselves, and it wants us to feel beautiful within. It wants us to show what we have. It doesn't want us to hide our shine. And Saturn Uranus square along with Leo is like pretty much you're being pushed to claim your place and claim your light in some ways. So through push or pull, and even if you're feeling right now constrained, which Saturn opposition has just happened to Venus and it's still active, you might be feeling that right now. Like you want to really shop for something, or you see something you want to buy, or you want to do something, you want to splurge on something, or you want to create a quality of life that the current situation is not letting you. And that's where Uranus at the apex is about finding a way out. Uranus in Taurus is all about creating value where nothing existed before. A new kind of value is created. Skill sets are changed. Our way of thinking of resources is being changed when Uranus is in Taurus. The kind of sources of revenues we didn't even see, they would start appearing, because we would have to shift our perspective about how we go about finances, how we go about our choices when it connects with, because there might be some things which we might be wasting our resources on. There might be things in our house we have hoarded, or we are keeping it, and they're just pulling us down. There are always expenses who do that as well. So Uranus in Taurus is definitely the apex of this T square. And I've mentioned this before in the July video as well, that but that is the solution. So we have to find a unique solution to this constraint, even if financially you feel. And there could be some compromise that might be required, because we're going to have Venus making a quincunx, which is a tough aspect, going forward with Pluto, going forward with Neptune, which shows that what we love, what we desire, what we think is our shine, what we think is our ego sometimes as well, invested in a certain physical asset, that would have to change as well. Pluto is very much about reality. It's about truth. It's about having conviction in ourselves. Sometimes not valuing yourself will bring Pluto to, strengthen that resolve that we have to ask for our worth. Because Venus in Leo has a lot of ego, has a lot of self-respect, ego, but because of that, Venus in Leo is the king or the queen. She's never going to go down and ask for more money. She's never going to go and, really ask for what she needs. That is the drawback of Venus and Leo. It's the ego, essentially. So when Venus is going to do a quincunx with Pluto, which is going to be the aspect from 16 to 18, then I'm going to get to it before I just started randomly talking here. I'm sorry, I'm doing this video a little bit more freeform. I was meant to take a break, but I really wanted to talk about this. I'm spending a little bit time with my family, but this came to me today that we need to talk about this, because I think a financial aspect is, even if you ignore, it's going to come up during this time. Venus in Leo is a significator of finances. We see it in the global events, but personally for you as well. And so we might see a compromise coming with Venus quincunx Pluto, and that is something we'll see in the global events as well. To move forward, it's almost like to move forward, you have to make a little bit of compromise, maybe going forward. Either the compromise is not in what you want to do, because Venus in Leo will never compromise. It cannot, as I said. Venus in Leo is like sun. Sun is not going to say, okay, I'm going to be dim for a few days. You can't do that. You just are that. You just are that. So if you have a natural talent, if you have a passion, if you have something within you that your heart is driving you to do, I don't think Venus in Leo would ever let us rest till we do what we need to do. But the question is, with Pluto and with Neptune, is how we do it. So when Venus makes a quincunx with Pluto, there are some truths that we are not facing, which are brought to. And with Venus and Leo, the truths are usually idealistic. Venus and Leo is very, very idealistic. So she doesn't see where, she's she's not she's not seeing the reality sometimes of the situation, that there are things that are not as idealistic as you would think. And with that, she has to recognize that. She has to be shown a different way. She has to be shown a different conviction in what she does. She will be challenged when that happens. Venus in Leo, so your passions will be challenged with Pluto. When you observe that, Pluto is all about control. It's about manipulation. So it could be a person, externally, who could make you feel, why are you doing this? This is not you in your power. See, Pluto has a very different power as compared to Venus and Leo. Venus and Leo is powerful because she's doing something that she thinks she has the gift to do. Pluto does something because he's gonna get essentially, I don't know, he'll be made a Chicago gang head or something if he does that. So he's given physical power, actual power. Pluto in Capricorn is possibly one of the politicians, essentially. So he gets control, gets a hierarchical position. So there are different things that Venus and Leo and Pluto in Capricorn even think of what power is. So when they two are going to come together between 16th to 18th of July, these are two different people altogether. One person thinks of thinks of success in a different definition altogether as compared to the another. So there could be two conflicting part of yourself, because it's possible that, both of these do, and Pluto is just our psychology. Even if you have a person outside of yourself, it is our own psychology which is essentially shown playing out. So the issue would be that we need to find a middle way. And it's possible that Pluto might take you on a ride. Let's go my way. He'll try to control possibly your creativity or your financial choices. It could be a person outside, or it could be you yourself, that we need to see the reality that this thing is not worth it, or we are not asking for our true worth, or what we are passionate about is not really financially, lucrative. So Pluto takes us on a ride, but we have to take that detour, because there is an adjustment that needs to be made in our choices. The first half of the month is very much Uranus dominated, which is before 16th of July, before this Pluto and Neptune influence, which starts happening after the new moon in Cancer. So after 15th of July, till 15th of July, you sort of are very idealistic about things. So we would find this position asking us to make a compromise. While in the first half, even till 15th of July, you'll feel I can do anything, because I'm pretty much being pushed to get out of my comfort zone, and maybe that's what it is. But Pluto and Neptune, they both would ask us to moderate that crusade and make sure that it's seated in a little bit more reality. And we'll see that coming out in financial matters, in the global matters as well. More hurdles which could come through in the financial matters, which might look very idealistic right now. Everything is opening up. Things are going to be great. Things are going to be absolutely perfect, because we have decided to open the economies, everything is just going to go back to where it was. You would this conflict of wanting freedom while needing a framework to make it happen, to make it play out in our own financial life, is very real. And Venus joining Saturn square Uranus is essentially pushing you to find a solid ground. How do you make real something? How do you create a new financial framework? How do you get out of the old fixed structure of your life to be able to create the kind of freedom, the kind of passion, the kind of, heartfelt progress that you're looking for in your life? So fixed signs, they are a little bit difficult to deal with, and this T square has been, I'm a Scorpio rising myself, and I'm Leo dominant. I have my Mars in Leo, and a couple of other planets sitting with it, with right next to Mars, including North Node. But essentially, fixed planets, they take a long time to decide. But this feels to me like an important time where some very long-term decisions, they need to be taken. And in Venus, you'll find that those long-term decisions are in love. They are in how are you going to financially sustain in future while doing what you love, and at the same time, what is your style? How are you going to go forward? What is the way you want to go forward? Everybody has a personal, unique style of doing things, but most of us are not confident of just using our style. It just isn't, especially when Chiron and Aries is dominant. We don't feel so open about being ourselves. So Venus in Leo is helping us. It's saying it's you're enough as you are. You're enough as you are. You're valuable in what you have. And you are the only one who can come out of your mold and essentially claim that value. Venus in Leo is very much all or nothing. It just is. It's very much goes from 0 to 100 on the things that they become passionate about. So Venus in Leo is very much a decision time. It brings out the fixed love for something that we're passionate about. There's no wasting your energies on anything that is half-hearted with Venus and Leo. So we go all out, play full on whatever your heart gets set on, whether it's in love, it's in creativity, it's in children, it's in risk-taking. Whatever we desire, we have to go full on in it. It's a sink or swim situation here. So Leo is the bonfire of fire signs, constant, unwavering fire. So we would be promoted to essentially look at the other aspects of it, because we could be very fixed about what we are passionate about. But then Neptune and Pluto making an in conjunction between 16th and 18th of July, they essentially choices will have to take a detour here. So they both will take us on a detour. Whenever there is an in conjunction, there is an adjustment that needs to be made, and Venus and Leo does not like to make adjustments. So it's not going to be an easy aspect that is coming up to us. And it could be practicality, it could be another person's perspective, because Leo Venus has a naive confidence about her choices, which is great because she aims for impossible, and sometimes she even gets it because she doesn't listen to anybody. She doesn't think when, Madonna has that. Many of the completely people who are very much criticized in film industry, and Leo Venus is very much about showbiz. So like Tom Cruise is there, Pamela Anderson is there, you have Gwyneth Paltrow is there, Nicole Kidman is there. These are controversial figures. They have Whitney Houston is there, Jennifer Lawrence is there. So they all have come through a fixed way of doing things because they believed that their way can be lucrative, that their way could be beneficial, that their way could be successful, and they've stuck to it. So now the question is, in conjunction, are you supposed to give up your way? Are you supposed to not be that way? That's not what this is. What this is that add an element of the two things that you're missing here, because Venus in Leo is very naive. It is very naive in the sense that it has a naive confidence about the choices, which is great for us to aim higher. But in that journey, she does miss out seeing people and choices clearly, and also forgets that sometimes she would have to, maybe in love, just give love with no return. So it's possible that there needs to be an element of sacrifice, which Leo in Venus is about self-fulfillment. It's about shining. So the sacrifice part, it's not like they're not generous. Of course, Leo is it's the most generous sign. It's the sign of the king. But it's, as I said, when she's shining, she's not thinking I'm sacrificing for another. She's shining because she is. So we could miss the elements that sometimes we have to give love with no returns. And that is the Neptunian adjustment that might be required. Neptunian imperative requires us to sacrifice sometimes our own interest or our need for return, because this is the time to selflessly give sometimes. But Neptunian imperative also requires us to have some flexibility. So when Neptune is going to give Venus Leo a detour, it's going to ask us to flow a little bit, show a little bit of flexibility, show a little bit of faith. And the Neptunian flexibility might be required to maybe collaborate, maybe to resolve conflict, which are both, Neptune in Pisces and Leo in Venus don't have anything in common. That's why there is a in conjunction, which is a hard aspect. So an adjustment in being flexible, an adjustment in being collaborative, to flow, to accept that sometimes we have to give in love with no returns, that adjustment would be required around 16th of July when we have Venus and Neptune in conjunction. On the other extreme, we have Pluto. Pluto is the other extreme of it. Now, Pluto is all about control, obsessive manipulation, lover, passion. I mean, Leo has nothing in common with that either. Pluto in Capricorn is only concerned about rising up the hierarchy and becoming powerful in an organization. And Leo only cares about being authentic. Leo in Venus, Venus in Leo doesn't wait to be told you are the head. He or she doesn't wait to be told, yeah, you head this, you are the king of this. She or he is the king of that. So the domain that you're passionate about, you already assume leadership in it. But Pluto in conjunction will show you that there are certain steps which involve making some strategic steps which are required for you to get the dignity of a king, if you understand what I mean. So this is not about becoming obsessively controlling about it, but it's about seeing the truth of how the world works and how especially the financial world works, and there could be some adjustments that are required here. It could be that we meet both influences in what we do or who we love, or we are essentially asked to find a middle path in our own personal journey between the two extremes, bringing the elements of flexibility, ethereal love, dreamy Neptune, and bringing the passionate, not lose oneself, raw magnetism of Pluto. Sometimes both Neptune and Pluto could take Venus for a detour, because they want her to see beyond the old structure of creation she has seen. Leo Venus has no problem going out of comfort zone. So what you're passionate about is already out of the comfort zone. That is not its problem. She's the definition of risk taking, but she likes her drama more physical than psychological. She's more naive in the psychological domain, and these two are purely psychological. So there is a psychological detour which could be in form of a psychological game that might be playing, which will teach you a lesson. Pluto wants to add conviction, honesty, grit, depth, strategy to uniqueness and naivety of Venus in Leo. So she's impossible to resist, she's impossible to defeat, and she's a power to reckon with. Neptune wants to add mystery, charm, idealism, oneness. Neptune makes whatever you create more appealing to soul of many. Neptune is glamour, Neptune is charm, Neptune is idealism. So what you're creating, Neptune will show you a way on how to create more oneness, how to create appeal of it, and you have to be flexible to include that element in whatever you're creating, which is being created by your heart. I do not recommend we go down the seedy yet honest alley with Chicago mob, which is Venus and Pluto, or fly the magic carpet. These are two extremes. Neptune and Pluto are two extremes. But yeah, some amount of psychological adjustment by meeting both the kind of experiences can bring the perfect color to one's creation, which was missing. Some will call it artistic adjustment, some will call it criticism, but we have to be flexible during this time, 16th to 18th of July, to bring this into consideration. Externally, in global events, whenever Venus has formed a quincunx with these two kind of planets, we normally see crimes of passion. It's very, very prevalent. Violence happens, and because it's very difficult to make this adjustment, this mid path between the two extremes of control and being selfless. These are two extremes. Making these adjustments and extremes are not easy to moderate. And we'll also have Pluto Sun opposition play out during that time. So Charleston church shooting had played out under this last time. So just be careful during that time. Don't forget the end game. You have to recognize Venus is just our choices, and she's moving ahead of Sun and Mercury. So you will have Sun and Mercury both move through these very same choices in August. So before the actual events are manifested, you and I are making certain choices, putting some creative work in place, relationship work, or investing financially into something of our heart that we're creating. But it's better to evaluate these choices in July before Sun and Mercury arrive here on 1st of August to finally see this in flesh, followed by the Leo new moon. Because what you seed when Sun is in Leo with the Leo new moon around 8th of August is a fixed seed. It is a long-term seed and tough to get over. In fixed signs, we create stability and order in wake of change. They don't cause change, they are trying to create stability where a volatility exists. Uranus in Taurus is trying to organize that in our physical resources, including our body, and telling us new ways of making money in the new world. Leo planets, they're trying to organize our passions, which were dormant. They're bringing up creative ideas to support you in the new era. And Aquarius Saturn is trying to give you the structure to make your work reach out to large groups and organizations by giving it structures, by providing you a new structure to reach out to community, a family that you did not have before. All three are trying to change different parts of us, and they're trying to bring a new stability in the wake of a major life change we are all on. That's what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the Cancer new moon video now. Thank you so much. I'll see you next. Bye. Thank you.